the natural resources, and yet and still I see my people living in abject poverty. Then I question myself, where have we gone wrong? I just wish I have the power to share the national cake so everybody can have a taste. Oh Lord.
For the next 13 days, I will keep you crying. And you're crying all over the place? What I will continue to do, I've already succeeded in completely demoralizing your base. You're just crying all over the place. I haven't even started. I'm just warming up. How dare you, foolish, desperate people, talk about rescue country. Joseph Boga couldn't even rescue himself. Some of you passing around, oh, cause that this, cause that. Where were you when I raised raising money left and right to feed him and fly him from hospital to hospital? Where were you all sitting there talking nonsense? Talking about cause I ain't got no integrity. I didn't have integrity when I was feeding Joseph Boga, your God. Bunch of ungrateful people. Have you heard Joseph Boga deny that I was raising money left and right to feed him? Have you heard him deny it? He will never deny it because he knows this to be true.
Some of you thought I was never going to create families of HAGGAI. Yeah. Because I went to counties. I'm not criticizing because I want to criticize. I'm criticizing because we said yesterday, former President, we are riding private jet. When the Joseph Boga brought to power is riding private jet from here to go to the country. Yeah. But I will speak because people in sacrifice for me were passing to go to my comfort. Spend my own money to bring him to power because we thought the wrong yesterday were going to be right today. Yeah. I had no regret to vote against former President William. But the people that are brought to power will regret why I had to vote for them in people. This country is a better place and will be a better place. Yes, sir. Because there's money in the country that we can live for. We don't need money from outside. So, but we don't want to empower people here. We say that our lawmakers, we have become lawbreakers. We have become criminals. We put all the money in the budget for ourselves and leave them out. I want to challenge some of your lawmakers. Some people say they want this senator. They're breaking all the law. The law you make is breaking the law, but you want to go up. We know it. You know why people want to go out? You're going to want to increase the time. They say they are too short. You cannot be a cancer, then you want to run global. You cannot be a lawmaker that disrespecting the law that we made ourselves. Then you say you want this senator, and then you waste your time. Nobody here can be for the government economy. But when we can be for it's not happening, and it will never happen. The only thing they are there for, when last people from the government came and said, sanctify people, young love and more say, give me 1% I want to go employ. But they said that over there, employ their family people because they need work. And the person that need work, and the person sanctify people say they want that. We employ our family people, but some people are happy. Because it is a time to be happy. It is nobody time when the country is not better. It is everybody time when the country is better. Yeah. 2029, we may be only ballot for the presidency. They are educated people. It's not about education. It's about how well you govern your people. They got people that got degrees, they know nothing. The only person with 8 people that they can't achieve nothing from. Our marketeers will come to power. In every country, at least 2 million employees for marketeers, business runners, and younger boys to empower themselves. The money is there. But everything is long without carrying the benefit of. Because we are close.
At a meeting to make money for. And this is a meeting And these are things we could not come to the public to disclose these things. We could not do things because we were in too deep. We were in too deep. And so what did I do?
Oh, I would not know wrong, but one thing that I was not able to accomplish that I wanted to accomplish was after the war, Liberian people elected me, and in fact, the Liberian people elected me to unite the country. I was not able to get some of the other factional leaders to return to Liberia. I was not able to get one or two of the political leaders to return. And I think they helped to provoke the situation. I was able to do a whole lot. Strangely, the LPC, these were all warring factions, and all of the other warring factions, I was able to bring them into government. In fact, most of the combatants that fought for the government during the war were the combatants of the warring factions that fought against me. So I accomplished bringing them together. I accomplished making sure that the issue of tribalism went away in Liberia. But I mean, to a great extent, I think most Liberians, if you went to Liberia and took a poll, they would say Mr. Taylor did his best. Any other things? The second thing is that I was never able to get the United States to understand me. I was never able to get them to work with me, which is so essential for Liberia. No president of Liberia, no president can make it successfully unless he is online with Washington. Now, I'm not the type of guy that you can pick up a telephone and command. I don't take that. I didn't take that from Washington. Then, even if I were elected president, I would not take it. I'm not that kind. I'm not a coward. But I do believe that a good working relationship is essential for any president of Liberia, or that president will fail.
I'm filled with a profound sense of gratitude and humility. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve as your president and commander in chief for the past 6 years. Together in 2018, we embarked on a journey to build a united, peaceful, and prosperous Liberia. And I am deeply thankful for the trust, the support you have bestowed upon me and my administration during my tenure. As we navigate the complexity of governance, your partnership was instrumental in the development and implementation of policies and programs in bring progress and development to our great nation. Reflecting on the accomplishment of these 6 years, let me tell you that I am proud of what we have achieved together. We have built roads, supported free wires, and free tuition at high schools and public universities, stabilized the macroeconomic challenges we face in 2018, built hundreds of poor housing units, and achieved on so many fronts that we are able this year today. However, I acknowledge that there is always room for improvement, and perhaps more could have been done under different circumstances. Regrettably, some of the long-term projects we initiated did not reach completion during my tenure. I am hopeful that the incoming administration will carry the torch forward and bring these initiatives to fruition for the benefit of Liberians. Fellow compatriots, rumors, and misinformation have played a large
Liberian nation was spared from threats and intimidation, as explained by Femi Kayode, press secretary to President Obasanjo, the Nigerian head of state, who was with him in Washington when President George W. Bush promised, and I quote, to bring Nigeria to its knees if Taylor was not turned over to the special court. And what happened? Obasanjo buckled and capitulated. Now, this demonstrates The significant pressure that was brought to bear on President Obasanjo, irrespective of his personal and leadership obligations to the West African sub-region. And therein lies the dilemma for current African heads of state and government, but how to enter into binding commitments and obligations with the African pairs and remain steadfast, resolute, and unyielding in their fidelity to those agreements in the face of such unrelenting and punishing pressure from powerful Western leaders.
When they were coming, they said they were freedom fighters. When they were coming, they said they were liberators. But when they came to the ground, they changed their mind. When they came to the ground, they changed their mind. What kind of people they do? They are freedom fighters. What kind of people they do? They are freedom fighters. You freedom fighters, you raping our women. They are freedom fighters. Freedom fighters, you killing our children. They are freedom fighters. Freedom fighters, you destroying our country. They are freedom fighters. Ayo, ayo, ayo. Ayo, ayo, ayo. Ayo, yo, ayo, 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 ayo.
Oh yes, and somebody says to me, this song motivates. It gives joy. It gives hope.
When they were coming, they said they were liberators.
It presents a space for deep reflection on our past. A freedom fighter. Let me say a very, very pleasant good morning to all of you across the country. Very, very pleasant good morning to those of you in the diaspora. Our friends, our fans, our followers, our critics, and even those of you who do not like the things we say and the way we say them. It's good to have all of you joining us today. I almost said tonight. It's good to have all of you joining us this morning on this fresh, renewed, motivated edition of Freedom Money Rise. I know all of you are prepared, you are excited, you are ready to rise along with us this morning as we drive you through some critical issues straight up to 10 o'clock. The joke issue. 19 million narrative, 50 million narrative, a different narrative. 6 persons arrested. 1 person photo is being paraded on social media. No official statement from the government as we speak. What is happening? What do we know? What do we think? We have some questions to ask, statements to be made, analysis to be run, or a compilation of issues to talk about today on Freedom Money Rise. My name is Austin Kawa. I'm here alongside Abu Sharif. And together we are going to drive you straight up to 10 o'clock. This is 87.9. This is Freedom FM. Very shortly we take a break to take a walk from our Crime Stopper Liberia. Just as we return from that break, we will join all of you on our Facebook live feed to welcome you to this edition of the show. And then we'll move into our discussion. Stick and stay with us. Don't go away. We shall be right back in a jiffy.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to stop the surge of vigilante side justice in this country, none of us will be saved. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we are seeing recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. This is Old Man Sam Science, your community crime fighting party. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Science.
We want peace in Liberia, peace in Monrovia. We want peace in
Thank you, OMSM Sion. Thank you so much. Abu, good morning to you, my dear brother. How are you?
Okay, good morning. I think I have a bit of cold, so the public will have to pardon my voice. But good morning, Austin, and of course, a pleasant good morning to our listeners and followers because radio and of course, the diaspora is always a good thing to be here. And our country is at a very critical crossroad, especially with this drug thing in the country. And of course, it feels good once more to come back here again and engage with you all to try to unpack the issues around it. This morning, I read a headline from one of the local dailies, the Inquirer newspaper, where a young man is reported dead from drug. And that is just to tell you the devastating impact of these things on our country. So, for those of you that want to consider these conversations political, it's important that you begin to rethink about the conscience of our society and, of course, the survival of our young people. So, yes, it's good to be here, and of course, I'd like to say you are welcome, right? And we're going to keep it this way to ensure that we give it our best for all of us. So, yes, today is Monday. It's always a good thing to begin the week fresh, energized, and of course, purposeful. So, we are here to serve you. Just be there, share the show as much as you can, drop your comment on just whatever you're hearing because there are lots of conversation out there. We're here to bring clarity to these narratives. So, let's have a good time.
Very well. So let's join some of you and see how many persons we can recognize on the show this morning. Beginning with Felicia's Junior Bar is joining us tonight this morning. Sorry, Agatha Glasgow has joined us. Asata Miller is following the show. Bobby Jadia has joined us this morning. Mohammed Kamara is following. Hilton Wulejedu has joined us. Samuel Latkupo is following. Nangme Stevens has joined us. Jack Abenigo Towi is also following this morning. Jeremy Dwyer has joined us. Mantoni Son is following. Dominic Wado is joining to the show this morning. Frederick Wisse, Ambassador Wharton Bushu, Morgan Jr. is joining. Cecilia Logan, JD Williams is following. Charles Weir has joined us. Amara Jala Kamara Prince Zizi, Kadi, passed away, Mark Kra, all of you, welcome to the show this morning. It's good to have all of you following us. Philip Ta, Koboy Wida, Jerry Sintukpa. Thanks to all of you. Too many of you. Junior Sikwa, Kelvin Soko, Simeon Lacho, Simeon Kobihan, Junior Johnson, Abenigo, Newton, all of you, thank you. We don't have the luxury of time to recognize all of you this morning. Alaska P. It's good to have all of you joining us this morning. Darlington Bay, Frederick Defa, Natu Ba, Melvin Todo. It's good to have all of you joining us this morning. How was the weekend?
Yes, the weekend was great, and a lot of things happening. And being a man very vested in international relations and what happened out there, because of course, these global issues have a way to impact our regular activities nationally. So I was heavily vested in what was transpiring between or with the situation between Iran and the US. And graciously, we can announce this morning that both sides of the also have announced that indeed an agreement has been reached to this point. So, but pundits are looking at it from different spheres, and others are arguing that it is a win for the U.S., while many seems to be arguing it is a win for Iran. So it depends greatly.
Which eye
Yeah,
is it going
we side of the
to?
table you are seated, but critically. If you look at before the war happened, what was Iran's geopolitical positioning versus what it
Yes.
has achieved now after the war? Technically, you want to give it up to Iran because it has commanded more global fear factor than what it used to be, right? To the point where, as part of the arrangement today, Qatar, the UAE, and other Gulf states are willing to release, money that were already seized, and, for Qatar, for sorry, Iran. So they're willing to give those ones out. Remember the 2012 agreement with Barack Obama
Mm-hmm.
that Trump criticized severely that Barack was the one giving Iran resources to build nuclear power and all of that. So to see a deal being entered in 2026 that also seemingly release and
It's leveraging style with
money, yeah, money again to the same Iranian and the same regime, right? The same Islamic Republic and all of that says a whole lot about how these geopolitical dynamic shifts in real time and real underlying factors impact critical decisions that the ordinary man will not be able to understand. But this is where we are, and let's see how it works. So, to this point, the Strait of Hormuz has been declared open, and all ships, according to the President of the United States, should start their engine and let the war fuel flow and all of that. So, the Iranians are also on the other end. They are free now. The blockade on their port have been equally lifted. So let's see how that impact global trade and commerce, and of course the politics and what have you. So that was really where I was focused, on the national scene. I mean, on the international scene, which is very very important. And I like to bring our people up to speed with that because when the whole conflict started, a lot of the religious folk thought this was a religious thing, and we use this very platform to educate them as to look, you got to come from there. This is way bigger than that to a certain extent, but it's being used as a cover. So you see, the resolution is made now. There is no decision about, oh, Jesus Christ is number one or Muhammad is number one. So that's to tell you that it didn't start about religion. The end is not about religion. So we need to
Yes,
understand
and
this.
you know, for me, you see, when we try to uh, see things from the layman standpoint, then it becomes emotional. And these emotions normally drive us into making wrong choices. When I mean wrong, I mean some controversial opinions about, especially these global issues. And I have been heavily focused on the this following this matter from the international political economy standpoint, rather than the political thing, because most of the political conversation were driven towards religion and thing, and I don't get involved with religious
I know that,
debates and
that
things.
depends the
So
cycle of the people you're
that's why I
talking
said
with.
when you start to see things from the layman perspective, it becomes an issue. But I was concerned about the economic aspect about the entire war, and at least at the end of the day, the street is opened for economic activities, which is going to heavily drive uh, uh, revenue, the flow of oil, the increase of revenue to countries, and trade activities are going to resume and all of that. So bring it back to our country. We saw the rise of fuel and gasoline price, and our government have been consistently saying it's because of the Iran and U.S. Israel war and all of that. So the ordinary people who go through the struggles or the hurdles in the morning for transportation to make their way to their different places of hustle, whether it's work or school, uh, whatever place they go. We hope that the impact is going to be felt here in a short period of time. That will see the price of gasoline fuel dropping, and then which will obviously affect transportation fares and the goods and services as well, because we saw the price of all of those things increasing as a result of the increase in fuel and gasoline. So, so 19 billion job think is the focus this morning. The entire country is talking about the LDA and all of that. That the refusal to reveal names of 6 persons they announced that were arrested and in their custody, ongoing investigation, the transactional investigation, and all of that. We saw a photo of a young man emerging on social media, Emmanuel Zion. We've been trying to run some verifications. Nobody from the government has. I've not seen any statement from the government, official statement from the government regarding Emmanuel Zinion photo. We've seen government propagandists have also been linking the release of that photo uh, to propagandists from the CDC. So how we can look at this thing from the political standpoint and from the communication standpoint and the security standpoint, because there are different sides to this. When I think it's important we give our audience the opportunity to have an understanding of what's going on based on what we know. Uh, so I don't know what you know, or what you think. I've been following series of posts from you on your social media page, and they've been strong and interesting. Uh, and it says that you have a huge understanding of what's going on. But I think there is an issue, and there's an issue that needs to be spoken about. There is an issue that we need to talk about.
Uh, I don't think the opinions that I've shared so far in a way uh, come across any differently from exactly what's coming from official sources. So, but I've basically been pushing folks in power to be a little more transparent with their public information, identifying discrepancy in the government's communication on the drug matter, right? Uh, and also highlighting why there is a lot of delay in the space between the government's public communication. I think it's creating a lot of vacuum for speculations. And probably, from what I've heard from official national security sources, this is the approach that they want to take this time around with this case. They want to be very painstaking on whatever they're doing, and probably at what time they deem necessary, then they can speak to the public. And sometimes these things work, but other times they do not work because this is about the country, and the public is concerned. And what is making this even more interesting to a lot of folks is that this was the most heralded campaign slogan of the rescue mission when they pursued the presidents of our country. The president declared on multiple occasions that, of course, the government before now, right, uh, to transform our country into a drug society, and that he needed to come on to cleanse, that. And ever since he came, uh, the country have also not seen a real uh, determined effort in fighting it. First of all, to begin with, he has filled in uh, appointing or ensuring a very robust leadership at the LDA. The LDA leadership has been in free fall, has been going back and forth, right? Demonstrating openly the lack of control from the presidency to really seize the fight against corruption, thereby dwindling the public confidence in his ability to actually deal with this. In some quarters, people are arguing that the cartel has actually corrupted the presidents of our country. It's like the cartel has hold of the presidency, and they dictate to a larger extent how the fight against drug goes. And this is exactly what we've been seeing multiple times. The president will keep people at the LDA as officers in charge beyond the period that he himself has announced. Like the current team, he announced 90 days, and it has passed way beyond 90 days. So the question becomes, who's keeping them there when the president actually said they were going to be there for 90 days, right? And there's been no communication to, formally appointing them into the role. How do we have people acting as officers in charge with not the full legitimacy or authority to perform in a critical sector like that, right? And we're talking about drug. Our kids are dying every day. Our brothers are falling victims. They're on the streets. I just driving coming to work, and I'm seeing young and ejected Liberians are lying down on the street in these rains, right? It tells you the extent, the severity of what we are going through as a country. But does the president see it that way? I am not sure. Evident by what we are seeing, no, the president doesn't, because the president is okay. He's playing lame dog, and of course, he has people there who do not have the full legitimacy. And then anybody can threaten them because they don't have the job properly and they want the job properly. So that's how he has been playing. And technically, from the look of things, these guys are themselves not aware of what is going on with this whole 19 million drug case. And we're hearing different narratives coming up just this morning, between last night to this morning. Another 100 kilograms of cocaine has also, case has also been busted. And in fact, that is part of the one that made a way out. And according to the way bill, right, the receiver, right, the consignee of these consignments in London or in England is one Usman Ali. So the latest report is that Usman received 100 kilograms. So the 19 million worth of job, what that we've been talking about all through the weekend, right, did not go. But it is also still being argued, right, that quantum of that left. And for LGA to move the drug from the RRA to its headquarters in Fiamma, right, there is also a narrative out there that 17, not 17, but 11 plates have gone missing. So all of these are credibility and integrity issues that the LDA and the government of Liberia need to speak to. So now the question becomes, Liberia needs accountability. Can they go to the LDA office, call the media, right, and put on display the actual plate that was received? Because it has been alleged that 11 plate has gone missing just from RRA back to Monrovia to Fiamma. 11 has gone missing. Then just to come to this morning, we're hearing about 100 kilograms received already on our other side. So, I mean, basically, the government is holding back. The LDA seems not to be in charge of what is going on, to the point where it had to even issue a release, right, announcing that, admitting that the investigation is bigger than her pay grade. So she has included and additional members of the national security or the joint security of the country, which is a fun thing, right? But a goal to validate our position.
That is even of this information now cover because the joint security have been working all along the joint security thing.
Okay, and the whole thing is even aside from the joint security, the whole busting it wasn't the Labrador security thing that did it, right? It came from outside, and the coordination with the British, the Belgium, and let's say the EU people, right, and of course the US, they made this happen because if it was the Liberian security sector, this thing, according to report, has been at the airport for 5 days. Pretty much tell me
Who were those
who are
kidnapping there?
those who are those there? You have the LIS there, you have the TEA there, you have the police there, you have some members of the AFL there,
The SIU
you have
from
custom
yeah.
there, the FIU there, and all of that. So 5 days, the intelligence still on identifying anything. The very day it should have left, right? And our partners have been watching. They say, look, nothing can go. Stop it. We see it. But before then, according to intelligence, the guy have smuggled some out already. So look, this is the biggest, if not the most embarrassing, right? Disgrace for the rescue government. Now she is to face herself directly. You told the Liberian people that we are and her people are bringing drugs in this country, and then you came to power. All we see you doing is arresting tablets, tramadol, and what have you. But guess what? They arrest this tramadol. Anybody in the public, tell me when last you saw them dispose of this tramadol? They get recycled. Come here. They get recycled. The government is profiting and exploiting the drug stuff. And we'll go more into these, but we gotta take it gingerly because I know they're listening every time. They say, oh, so they're listening. So we're gonna go gingerly. So we'll help them too because these narratives can help them put them on guard. Sometimes they're actually clueless from the look of things, and they just don't know what is going on, and that's why they're not talking. That's what they're holding. They're not being professional. They're holding because they have no clue as to what is going on, and they're afraid to put out the identity of those because a lot of those. Lastly, Kumari, the magnitude of what we are talking about, hmm, it is not an ordinary watchman at the airport that will conceal that. There's a vehicle that drove that consignment from Monrovia to the airport. That vehicle should have a license plate. That vehicle should have a driver, right? And I believe there is supposed to be a CCTV at the airport.
Sure.
And all these things are there to give a lead to help the government investigation. And I want to believe technically that the government has all of those things. So the question becomes, why are they hiding it from the very people that they promised to deliver from drug epidemic? Why are they hiding the facts? Come out with it. The president should be calling press conference announcing to the country that he has fueled the fight against drug and rallying national support towards fighting drug and calling all hands on deck. All hands on deck because this is a national epidemic. Bouakai regime has succumbed. They have succumbed to the narcotic establishment of the war. And Liberia enjoys under Bouakai a great deal of relationship with Mexico in these processes. There was a report in 2024 when the Sierra Leonean government arrested the plane that was coming from Liberia. You remember? What did they say? Where is it coming from? Mexico. So who's permitting these transactions?
The cartel, yeah.
So
There is a cartel,
it
yeah.
has to be busted. So the more the government remains silent, the more the government protects the cartel. And should the Bouakai rescue government be the one to protect the cartel? I say no. And if they insist on protecting the cartel at the disadvantage of the country and the ordinary people that are victims of these drug situation, then I don't know what's the essence of leadership or governance. You're failing your people. Times are hard, the economy is tough, businesses are closing, but government officials are buying brand new vehicles.
And the silence could be due to two things. Either they're silent, they're living in silence because they have no clue or they're not sophisticated, or they're silent, they're living in silence because they are under pressure that
No,
the cartel or
the
the
issue
higher
with
ups to
Clue,
shield.
the issue with Clue is those are LDA. I can tell you, maybe up to now, but from the get go, they have no clue. Trust me, the boys, this thing will play is above their pay grade. Like I said, these are gentlemen that were just, handpicked and all of that. Look at how they even assembled them. Gregory said, "My man, I get two presidents," and then my own people that say, "My man, I get one president." Put them together, so general again. So where is commitment, where is loyalty? You got to confirm them, put them in charge. They're not even in charge. They're not even in charge. So they're just saying on there, I mean, oh, my man, yeah, that kind of person, you got. So you see Serene everywhere. Have you noticed that? Almost everybody gets Serene. And the police people at a different checkpoint. Labrador now have more checkpoint in the city limit
Yeah, the
than
borders.
at the borders or during the CDC period. But at the same time, more cocaine is coming to Liberia and passing through than that time. So what are we doing? So you put the checkpoint there, check for showmanship, and then they pass. Although we that can be passing, bro, cocaine can be going on there.
Cooking weird. But you see, Abu, I don't know, but this I'll pick up from your point. There's a point you made that we all must use as a beginning point for this national to guard our national conversation. The point you made about legitimacy of those that are in charge of the DEA is important to note. Because if we must collectively engage in a sincere, a transparent, and an accountable fight against drugs, it means those in charge must be in confidence. Those in charge must have confidence in themselves. And I agreed with Abu, Mr. President, if you truly want to fight drugs in this country, if you truly want to break the cartel, it has to start from those in charge of the LDA. You can have boss, errand boss to heads of other entities presiding over a critical sector like the DEA. This is a major problem. Those you see are presiding over the DEA were all seconded from the police and the National Security Agency. My man, they'll send two person here. My man send one person here. You go represent us. My man, that my boy, that my man. I trust him. Go represent us. They make it listen to me. They make it take instruction from me. Go there. That's how they were seconded to the LDE. So there are errand boss seconded to the LDA to preside over that sector, acting on behalf and at the dictates of other individuals seated at different levels in the government.
That's correct. Because these institutions are the one that pay them.
Yes.
LDA doesn't pay them.
No.
Right? Their pay comes from the
The
police.
police and NSA. That's
So
why
maybe
they're officers in charge.
The young small thing.
For them.
Whatever the cartel can also be available to pass through. So it's
So,
terrible.
Mr. President, it's a major challenge. This is critical, and I will emphasize on this. If you want those guys to stay at the LDA, appoint them, let them go to the Senate for confirmation. They come by, you commission them, and they can continue or they can start acting independently. As long
You don't
as
think
they
it's too
are
late for
officers,
that?
I don't think it's late.
We are
It
already
may be, yes,
we are
to
already
some
a cocaine
extent,
hub
you
in
see,
West Africa. A hub for cocaine now.
because when you
It's
have
fun.
officers in charge getting accustomed, getting familiar with the cartel, then it becomes an issue. Then they need to go through reorientation if they will be appointed, or you have to change all of them and send new people there.
Right. That's the way to fix it.
Yes,
They are our good
because
friend. We
these
respect
guys,
them, but
sure,
we remove them from there.
the lack of independence has compromised those guys' ability to work independently. They can't function in the manner that we expect them to function anymore. Executive mansion is sending instructions at the LDE. The legislature is sending instructions at the LDE. The judiciary is sending instruction at the LDA. So the LDA is taking instruction from everybody. I tell you something, and I have to say this. If anybody feel offended, yes, but I have to say this. This thing about this particular 19 or 50 million drug, there's a reason why Abu I was at the LDA on the very day this arrest was made. And I have to say this. I was already aware that this arrest was going to be made. The LDA, the first misinformation or lie that the LDA told was that they did not have anybody or they could not reveal the name because there was transactional investigation taking place. The LDA, in fact, they jumped security. Already have people in their custody before additional arrests were made. No one was arrested from the Rabat International Airport on that day that the pronouncement was made. The entire government, we challenged the entire government. Nobody from the airport was arrested at the airport on that day. What happened on that day was that the consignment was what the DEA people along with the job security people went to arrest. Because they already had clue where it was located, where it came from, who were those connected, and those connected were already in the custody of the job security, providing information, giving clue, giving lead to that had the cocaine arrested. So they knew already. They didn't arrest anybody at the airport. Those they arrested gave them lead. That's how they went to the airport and took custody of the cocaine. The question is, why is it taking the government this long to reveal the names of those connected? Why is it taking the government long to reveal the names of those connected? Those in custody of the job security have already called names of people whose instruction they were acting on or under. It is believed or it is being said that some of them are in the government.
Correct. They've called him already.
They've called names. They have.
No, but the government has also announced.
The government is aware that
the government announced Emmanuel Zion.
I must have been for it.
No. Listen, the way we are taking this is by the government's account.
They said they have 6 persons in custody.
So they announced
the person they announced is not amongst the 6.
Yeah. Nobody said that man is the one who get the job, that he the one carry the job.
He said he meant deposited there,
deposited and left and ran away. but that runaway thing started coming up when we all started researching about who this Emmanuel Zion man is and all of that. And so Variety News, lastly a pro-regime media outlet, right? Or arguably, Variety News came out with a whole narrative, right? And then they produced copies, right? Manifest and all of that. So they attached a passport copy of this to be Emmanuel Zion, right? So the rest of us did not manufacture like the regime is trying to make it to look like, right? So their good friend, Rescue Rambo, right, media outlet produced by their assistant, right, to water down the narrative and make it seem like the government is doing something. They have sniffed somebody already. So they put that out. Now, so research showed that the government used and furnished Variety with a dead body passport. Can you imagine the extent to which the government is determined to cover this thing up? And that is the most dangerous aspect, that every Liberian under our voice this morning must begin to cry for their country, must begin to rise up And I'm hearing this news about these girls that can wear the black and say they anti-drug something. No, don't fall for them because look, every one of them were caught with several plate, 18 plates of cocaine at the airport. Also, right?
Where is she now?
They should be telling her another one too, right? So they dare body. Austin, have you phantom why the government, the Liberal Drugs Enforcement Agency, under pressure, will release the passport, the name of an individual that turns out to be a dead body? This is dangerous. So this is conceding to the cartel, and it's dangerous for the future of this country. Let's put the politics aside. Mr. Baka has failed miserably, and left with me to decide Mr. Baka should pack and leave the presidency. But he's not going to do it because he's a greedy old man. He has longed for this. Even in his retiring age, he still thought selfishly he wanted to be president. Considering the complexity of Liberia's problem, Liberia's challenges, and you take a frail man in his retirement age and still desperately, he could not sacrifice ultimately to say at this point the challenges will be huge. But you see, Mr. Parker's failure is is the validation of one fact and the vindication of former President Ellen Sirleaf when she declined, right, to endorse this man in 2017. A lot of people felt, oh, she was being selfish and all of that. And ever since Mr. Parker became president, from areas to area, he has been proving Mrs. Sirleaf right. He has been proving all of those apologists of Mr. Sirleaf that declined to support him right, as he has lost touch of the gavel. The gavel is no longer with the presidency, with Mr. Barker. The gavel is with the boys and girls masquerading the corridors as authorities here. You become an advisor to the president on political affairs. And there is a huge political tension that you have performed no political answers to. The president still continues to dwell in political error as tension continues to boil and boil and boil. But you call yourself advisor to the president on political affairs. And all the lady does, passes around, acquire properties everywhere, building nothing she's building. She's not building schools. She's not building a home for orphanage, right? She's building motel, hotel. For what? Where the cocaine can be something. And not in a motel and in a hotel, in promoting infidelity, immorality in our society. That is the government we have on our hand. That is the situation. And most Liberians don't like to hear these things and they be like, oh, you know, that the papi. Look, we do not see Mr. Barker as papi. We see him as president. And we address him as president. He knew he was old and he accepted to be president. So we will deal with him as that and we will ask him to account. You take a dead body, you say that a man that get the drugs. When we push you, you came, you say, oh, the passport are out there, they're not LDA policy, so the public should ignore it, and your owner, Emmanuel Zion, you don't see him, right? Just go to the subsequent report. You say, you don't see your owner, Emmanuel Zion, you run away. You put the cocaine and you run away. So how did you know that it was Emmanuel Zion that actually ran away? When you did not see him, you did not interact with him. Because for you to see him, obviously, investigative procedure will require that you take materials from him, right? You say the passport, you know about it. Your owner Emmanuel. So then the question becomes, how you know the person that ran away need Emmanuel?
Probably probably the six persons in custody may have
They,
named
they,
Emmanuel Zion to
they,
them.
they name Emmanuel Zion.
Who did
So
they
then,
write Emmanuel
so then
Zion for
what
the
due diligence did you do after
as
the
part of your
name?
investigation?
After the name Emmanuel Zion, you should have done some investigative
Because
due
there are many
diligence.
Emmanuel Zion, you need to
Exactly.
verify the actual Emmanuel Zion and all of that.
Exactly. To be sure
Yeah,
who
so you
the
don't get the
Emmanuel
wrong
Zion
person,
is.
the wrong identity,
Is
and all of that.
he a Liberian citizen? Right? What does the man do for a living? And all of that we need to know. It will help us give us the clue. But there are only Emmanuel Zion that just Emmanuel Zion in the air. We even know. So one of Emmanuel Zion came online and say rescue should take a name for India more. Because he didn't know about anything. That's another Emmanuel Zion. So it's so funny. That's the part I wanted us to look at again, especially
You see, yeah, So I was saying that the government will have to muster the courage. You see, we play all of the politics, engaging all of the political discussion or discussions, but at the end of the day, Mr. President has to understand that there is an integrity issue here. The government's integrity is already messed up. And we have said that times without number that the government's integrity is messed up. The citizens have got no trust in the government. Nothing comes from the government or any official of the government that resonates with the citizens in terms of believing or trusting what they say. As a result, it makes it difficult for the government, for the citizens to to believe anything the government says. Adding insult to injury, the DAs provided conflicting information again about a major burst. 19 million is no joke. Liberia does not even have the consumption capacity for 19 million worth of cocaine. We get the capacity to consume that. Besides, we do not even have the market for 19 million cocaine. So we don't have the consumption capacity. We don't have the financial or market capacity to even sell or trade 19 million worth of cocaine. It means it was being transited. Now, if it's established that it was being transited. Abu, I'll say this. The president, for this one, the president is in the know. The president is aware. Our privilege to have read a text message from a lawmaker. And I think I posted that. Imagine individuals within the executive mansion will be messaging or calling lawmakers. My man, that I bought down there, that I pick it down there. What kind of intervention can you make? That's why when Abu mentioned about having people at the DA who are fully in charge, that's why I started my conversation from there. For somebody in the mansion to text a lawmaker to call a ball at DA, see what intervention can he make? Speaks volume of the strength and the weight of the cartel that exists in our country to facilitate the transit of narcotics in the sub-region. And this is concerning. I remember the former deputy for administration at the LDA said that drug is a lucrative business. He made that statement at the Ministry of Information press briefing, one of them. And he went further to say everybody in the government officials are connected, they are involved in this cartel. He said from the legislature to the judiciary and the executive, there were officials. He said, if you check good, there are officials connected to the sale of drug in our country. Mr. President, you dismiss him. You fire him. Because there were powerful or so-called powerful government officials who felt offended by a bold and brave but real statement that was made by a deputy director at the LDA that you appointed. But his statement did not go down to the comfort of those connected to the cartel. You can't allow yourself, Mr. President, to be manipulated. There are two things that you can be on, two things that resonated across the political spectrum in 2023. Your years of experience and that you were coming to rescue. Those were the two messages that you sold across Liberia. You break your campaign messengers ran around with this mindset that you had over 45 years of experience in public service and that you were the best person who understands the problem. You are the best person who knows the problem and who knows how to solve the problem. Therefore, you gave me the country. Let me rescue the country. Mr. President, 3 years running, nothing has been rescued. Nothing. I ask every day. Let's point to one thing that Mr. Barker has rescued. Just one. And in the coming days, we're going to bring some of their officials here to sit on the platform to ask them these questions. That's why we have to make the conversation bold, brave, and interactive. You should not be getting angry because somebody says on the radio and criticize or checkmate your government. We have to checkmate the system, especially when it becomes the issue of trust. Trust is derailed. And you, Mr. President, are in charge of the government. You have lieutenants who lie every day about everything. They lie about everything. And they justify and defend those small things that they lie about. No action is taken. Nothing happens to them. And they open their arms, walk in the streets because they believe that you have confidence in the lies that they are telling the public. For God in heaven's sake, you can't be contradicting yourself as a security entity. One minute you come out to say you have 6 persons in your custody that are ongoing transactional investigation. As a result of that, you cannot name them or reveal their names. The public and the opposition had to pressure you to release a name that is not even amongst the 6 names that are being investigated by you. Then the question is, if you could reveal the name of the person who you say deposited and left, deposited the cocaine at RIA and left, how come you are refusing to reveal the names of the 6 individuals that you are investigating? Everybody has passed through the airport and travel. We know the protocol. How is it possible? I mean, let's imagine the possibility of this young man who is believed to be the person who deposited the cocaine at the airport. How is it possible that he will walk to the airport? If I drive to the airport, you know,
Those 6 individuals that they're talking about, I mean, technically are just Apple officials, LIS people, and small boys. They pick them up. Probably you can hold those ones for administrative negligence, right?
they may be
And
part of the cartel.
what have you?
Look,
Yeah, you
those
can
are the
hold it.
people who
But
are
no,
very, very.
what we're trying to get to, what we're trying to unpack is the source. We're trying to get to the source, right? There will be a lot of people along the chain,
Obviously,
right? So they could be at the tail end of the chain. And I even heard a narrative that try not to give a lot of attention to as to a break-in agreement between the actual people and those at the airport. There was some offer. Somebody told me $1 million, and at some point, because it's a whole chain, and we'll come to that, right? So just let me just read a gist of this on the new discovery to tell you that this is not a new thing, and this has not just started with the 19 million births that happened, and it has been going on,
mhm.
right? So Variety again comes out among many other media outlets to say that it seems that the LDA authority is not aware about this new revelation. That's a slap to the LDA. It further validate my assertion that these guys are errand boys, right? Tape, Biago, Comazor, these are errand boys. and you know what an error will obviously turn out to be, right? So they will be kept on the periphery of things. They will not understand the intricacies, the details, and then they will be micromanaged. And that's exactly how they've been there. With all due respect to the persons, but of course, that's exactly what they've been. Now, so another 100 kilogram of cocaine, value at around $8 million, was equally brought to the country. I'm told from Nigeria, somewhere in May, passed through a very airport and delivered to the same man that should have received this $19 million in London at an apartment that he, put on the paper, whether he will actually be there, but because you know how they can operate,
Yeah, that part.
right? So that man, I call Usman Ali, and then I asked a question to try to do some check on our brother Mo Ali, your good friend. Is it? And my man started coming at me and say, "Oh, my man," but it's possible, right? When they men start to enter our Liberia, then you get to know that there's a Mo Ali in Liberia. He's a powerful man in the party. He's a powerful man. They make him build a signage with the man, and so you can't doubt these things. So I believe if I'm in charge of the investigation, I'll equally call Moali in. Wally, is there any kind of relationship?
Everybody not see you there, man.
Did they ever call you? I mean, someone that with the related, the Ali family, not kind of large family that you see who all over the place, like just small family in the world, and they can be connected, interconnected somehow. So, but that's just just to digress a little bit. But the real point is, it goes to the same Usman Ali, right? So validating that Usman Ali has been in this transactional dealing with Liberia way before this 19 million cocaine case happened, right? And that will also tell us that Usman Ali has to have people on the ground here, right, that he's dealing with.
But Usman has been into Liberia back and forth. Usman
Okay.
lives there. Usman has businesses here.
Okay, so that's the point.
Mhm.
So then, who brought Usman here? Who's Usman working with here? Right? Before we reach to the airport picking, right? Because of picking, I'm not the man that TSP.
Let me tell you, Abu. The police, the joint security, they know Usman Jaha. We know each other.
Of course.
They have interacted with Usman. They chill together. They are up. They have many things in common.
So Gregor know him too?
You not singing about Greg?
That my man. Like a man too. And like, yeah, man. So I asked him whether you think
So-
Gregor know him.
So you don't mind boy or either. So the security folks in this country, they know Usman Ali. Usman Ali is no stranger to some at time we can go places and things. We know we're familiar with some of these people. So the very people, the jump security, those guys, they are familiar with Usman Ali. They know that he has some businesses here. They know that he has some investments here. They know his operations. I was a cartel.
Mm-hmm.
They are players. They are actors. They have members in the police. They have members in all of the security agencies. They have members in the legislature. They have members in the judiciary. They have members in the executive. These information are true. They are friends. If the government really wants to fight drug, which I think they should, which we are going to support, if they sincerely want to fight it, they have to divert their energy to the legislature and start pushing to remove some of the people from their seats who are connected to the cartel because they know them. They have to dismiss the very people Mr. Parker has on his decks, his officials that are connected to this 19 million thing.
You think legislators
Yes.
are connected?
Yes,
It has to be legislator at the highest.
legislators are connected. Bro,
Tell me about that a little bit.
bro, legislators are connected.
Okay, so the security sector gone already. Then the legislature is inside the web. The executive mansion is swimming all over the cartel.
Mhm.
Then where do Liberian people look up to for help?
We are supposed to look up to the judiciary.
The court?
100 million cocaine case.
Mm-hmm.
The court say, "Come you that the guys were not guilty." Yeah? that their money should be turned over to them, and they are free to leave the country.
And people have
You know
peddled
the
that
100 million
that
thing that
100 million thing.
were towering all under the CDC government. The UP guys used it as a campaign message and everything. And they came back and restarted the case, and they went to court, and they could not even win the case.
I agree.
The court.
And I see them try to regurgitate that 100 million thing, try to just oppose that and make it comparative as if to say,
So
but
that's so
but
there are
this is,
cartel members in the court
Mhm.
operating, acting
I agree.
on their behalf.
So you said we should look up to the code. So you come back again.
No, no. I said
mean,
we. I said
so,
we. He
so
said what
Liberians
we.
should look up to us.
We should be looking up to the court.
No, at this point, so
everybody is a member. The system is compromised.
So when the
That's the
system
point.
is compromised, then you look up to brave young people like us who can look in their faces and say, you're doing this to the country, you gotta stop. So I see the UP folks try to bring the 100 million thing, try to dilute the conversation. And fellow Liberians, you have to understand that the comparison, the analogy are far apart. They're not even comparable. The situational analysis, the occasional or the whole operational framework of the two situations are not the same, right? In the 100 million thing, it was being traced. It came to Liberia. It got arrested at the port. The Liberian government exhibited determination,
And
right?
destroy them because I was there when they were destroyed.
They arrested people, right?
Prosecuted them.
They prosecuted them. They charged them.
Mhm.
They prosecuted them. And then that's with the court. The court found them not guilty.
Sure.
But the government of that day took action, right? Like you just
Political will was there.
they carried it, they scored the drugs on camera and everybody saw it in real time. So when you come to rescue, own, or handling of the 19 million, right, which there are other narrative, additional narrative, about 50 million, all of that, we're still weighing the strength of these narrative based on all the intelligence that we are equally gathering. But one thing we can say that it is more than the 19, but for official purposes, where we'll stick the conversation and maintain the debate around the 19 plus this additional 100 kilogram that came in, right? And wait as the time goes by, as we're in before the weekend, trust me, we'll get additional information because the pressure we all got to keep mounting the pressure on the guys. They will come out. You can't treat our country like that, right? You beat on CDC, you said they were bringing code, right?
Cujo,
which is lesser, but today you're bringing cocaine, high grade cocaine. And it's even being argued technically that the street value that the rescue is putting to this cocaine, right, is way understated. Because this grade of cocaine is way more than the regular chemical one that they put together and stuff like that. No, there's a high grade cocaine. Judging by the market that they're taking it to, right? Europe, especially England, the kind of cocaine you want to take there. Because study shows that a lot of the people down there, for some other reasons, where they're into these things and they pay good money for it. The cost of cocaine in England is higher than most of the other parts of Europe, right? So you get the valuable item there. So when you should go by the actual market value of what in our hand, it's way more than cocaine. So I believe these are the places where the argument is being peddled from without 50 million narrative and other additional stuff that the folks has. But we maintain it at 19. But the point is, when you have a society where you cannot trust the legislature, and that's why we come back again, Austin, to why people like us, in spite of what the situation was, we said that there was no need to change the leadership at the House of Representatives because we saw will, we saw determination for check and balance,
and proper coordination.
We saw real leadership to ensure that when something want to pass, there was a political will to ask for clarity. We saw it clearly when Funati, in spite of the fact that he's our boss currently, when he presided as speaker, when the whole yellow machine took, he seized the moment and invited the people for questioning. But when you have a leadership of the House that's presided over by a man who duped himself redeemed speaker, right? And profess on open camera that he is going there, he will be a regime speaker to ensure that anything the executive wants, it will pass. So if people come from the executive cycle, right, known to be powerful and very positioned, they go to that speaker and say, the president wants this, no matter what it is, with his commitment, he will pass it. And that is the danger we have on our hands. So to fix this thing, you have to fix the legislature. To fix this thing, you have to fix the executive mansion. The president has.
Then we have to restart the entire system.
We have to restart the entire government, and that has been my problem, Mr. Bwaka. From the very first 6 months, he failed to disprove my perception about him, and he has only given me more reason to further believe that, right, he is a misfit. He has zero clue about contemporary leadership and governance. His time in government was clearly an accommodation. You know our society, how it's structured, right? People do friendship, people do church relationship, people do society relationship, and some other people can be blessed and favored. Like I said the other day, Mr. Baka is a smart man. In the realm of politics, he's a cunning politician. He knows how to navigate the political, environment. So he appears and gets, the dividend from his political interaction, but that does not make him an intellectual politician who has the ability, the capability, right, to develop ideas, workable solutions, and to move a country forward. And that's why we are stagnated. We're right here. One moment, the LRA man will come and tell you that the budget is performing. Another moment, the Minister of Finance will have to be crediting from Jalo Sharp to pay salary, going to Asilometer. And Asilometer had to hand bend our entire government into signing for $200 million, another 25 years with no tangible on the life impact on the life of the people for another 25 years. But we have to cave in because the government of the day is not, they're not innovative, they're not creative, presided over by, lastly, a man that, sometimes when I make these descriptions, people say, oh, I will go, obviously, I like to speak my mind. And the president respect that because the president know I speak to him boldly. And that's my point on there. I don't know what the Liberal people will say about it, but this drug thing is embarrassing. And of course, I saw that note. I don't know whether you can confirm it or anybody can confirm it that the government has moved, calling the EU to recall its ambassador. The timing of it exposes the government even more. This is not the timing, but you can imagine the pressure. They're under immense pressure, but you know what's going to happen? And mark this: this government will be compelled to come out with full disclosure, and upon fully disclosing, because it will reach a point, the president will have to take a position to indicate that his government is not an accomplice to what is going on. He will take heavy action. And here's I expected to rule. Here's I expected to rule. And when he shall have done that, the European Union now will take a position. And that position, when we get there, will tell you.
So, Mr. President, and to all your government officials, I was telling Abu Bianes today, but I'm on a reorientation. So you have fire, fire alone. But I mean, there's something that nobody is talking about: the involvement of the executive management is key to emphasize in all of this. The agenda that we are running the country on is the president's agenda. This 19 million drug thing and beyond. This is beyond just a criminal investigation. I don't know why we keep emphasizing, but it's important. I know they may not want to give it credence or stuff because it's about integrity. Because we're talking integrity, we're talking transparency, we are talking accountability. Initially, it was a criminal investigation with all of the narratives, all of the conflicting narratives, and all of that. This matter has grown beyond a criminal investigation. This is a political test of the integrity of the government. This is a political test about transparency and accountability of Mr. Bwaka and his government. If you still the citizens already do not just open the telephone lines. You even take the telephones to you even use your own numbers in place. I mean, open the telephone lines on ERBC and ask Liberians. Everybody will criticize and condemn. Ask yourself, why do you think these guys are fighting all around in the chat room and calling for people dismissal at the DEA?
In the UP chat?
Yes. Why do you think they're calling for the dismissal of the head of the DEA? They come in the public. Yes, they come in the public and pretend like all is well. They go back in their chat rooms, in their leadership chat room or their executive chat room, and start batching on their officials for the very reason we are publicly criticizing them. This is deception. You can go in the chat room, in your executive chat room, and call for the removal of the LDA people. Because they are embarrassing. So you know inside that the action is embarrassing the government. Then you come outside and pretend like the government is using sophistication to carry out an investigation. This is shameful, Mr. President. It is embarrassing. At times we act like Liberia is just an island sitting and operating all by herself. She doesn't need any global relationship. And every time these things happen, especially matters that matters that involve transparency and accountability, it takes me back to the president's repeated pronouncement about Liberia is open for business. Then the question is, which business?
Cocaine business.
What kind of business is Liberia open to, Mr. President? What kind of business have you opened our country to? What kind of business? 3 years running, you promised to rescue. Nothing has been rescued. You promised jobs. We cannot see any data or point to any data revealing employment in our country or increment in employment in our country, additional jobs, decent jobs. The reason is because there is lack of confidence domestically and there is lack of confidence internationally. Our judiciary is in a confidence crisis. The US government said that. Read a 2025 report review on Liberia's security sector. They say that they say our judiciary is corrupt. They say our judiciary is compromised. They say our judiciary is ineffective. They say our legislature is corrupt. They said the citizens do not have any trust in the legislature. And they said that the executive is corrupt. They said the executive government officials extort money, they solicit that they want to use, solicit bribes from foreign investors. We didn't manufacture those phrases or narratives. The US government produced and published the 2025 review of Liberia. You can Google, you see, you read for yourself. Your major international partner, the US, that is supposed to open corridor, open doors for you, that is supposed to give confidence to investors to come here and talk to you and have a conversation with you and do business with you. They are telling the world publicly that your system is corrupt. That if that is nothing to serve you or to motivate you to start to engage in transparency and accountability activities or games, programs, then I'm sad. America doesn't trust you. Your system. That's why. Look, and when the Americans read this report, they are indirectly telling the American companies, "Hey, take the risks. You can go there if you want to go, but this is our assessment." They tell you that the police cannot be trusted. You cannot go to the police and get the matter investigated or impartially. They citizens cannot have issues, grievances, and go to the police and have their matters resolved or settled impartially. Police will either demand money for you or protect the powerful against the powerless. And if investor James or Diba is sitting in the UAE or somewhere in Qatar or somewhere in Europe, really on because before Abu comes to Liberia to invest his millions, Abu has to research about Liberia. What is Abu looking for? What will Abu be looking for? Abu will be looking for the security climate. How is Liberia security climate? How does it look? Is it a favorable terrain for me to invest my money? What are the payloads? Let's go to the police. You try to read about policing in Liberia, you see police brutality, you reading about police taking bribes, you reading about you see the US government security brief or review of Liberia security sector for 2025. Then Abu goes through the report. Abu sees that the US government view assessment of Liberia security sector, including the justice system, is appalling. What do you think is going to motivate Abu to come here and invest his millions? So if you want to know why investors are not coming here to invest, it's because they don't trust the system, the climate, the space. It's not safe for them to invest, to do business. Liberians who export their goods, their containers here to this country, they themselves are complaining about high tariffs and all of that. Big economy like China is giving free tariff, announcing free tariff to all our African countries. So if you're allied to us, you come here tariff free. Liberia is still sitting here and increasing tariff to 25 and 35%. Who's going to ship to your country? Who's going to export to your country? When we call for the review of these tax regimes, you'll get vexed. But these were things that they criticize. And this is why we sound so bold on this issue of our criticism against Mr. Baka. Not Abu, I do not hate Baka. What do we hate him for now? But we are compelled to critique him because he is the president. And he didn't just come to become president. He came here with a message, with a commitment. He said, we will rescue, we will arrest the challenges and rescue them. So today, if the challenges are not being rescued, what do? We should go lay down and sleep? Look, we will continue to criticize, we will continue to critique, we will continue to checkmate, we will continue to and will afford you the opportunity to come here and face us.
Certainly, but that opportunity has always been there.
You have to understand that the system is challenged. Some will consider it a mess. Some will consider it a complicated thing, but it is challenged. It is challenged with little or no action being exerted to fix the problems. And you get vexed when we talk. So you just solve the problem with anger.
Just to expand on what you're saying about them having the opportunity, as far as my memory can serve me, the opportunity for every Liberian to come and sit here and speak their side of the story has always been here. Nobody have denied anybody. Nobody can prove a record of engaging with anybody, and then the president say, "Oh no, you can't come," because in fact they have been running away from the intellectual conversation around issues of governance and leadership in our country. We don't know why. So again, it's a re-emphasis. For me, I even want Mr. Wakai to brave the storm to come and sit down here and take our questions. That's that question we're asking. So why are they afraid of us? And then they make it look like, oh, we can. No, the place is open. Come. And we challenge your ideas. You used to do it before. Why are you scared now? Klatume, Daniel Sano, who all of you used to come. So why are you afraid to come now? Because you know we have everything that you find it difficult to explain yourself around. But anyway, that's besides the point. A lot of you will be wondering how and we want to make it a propaganda, which I want to disabuse your mind of. That the narrative being, you know, put at the feet of the executive means, oh, they're just trying to put the president into it, or this and no, no, no. Then I must help to educate you on how the executive can get involved into these kinds of things. The executive is subdivided. So you have the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, right? You have the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and under that Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where diplomatic matters are handled, there are privileges, and of course opportunities granted. You know, for we students of diplomacy and foreign relations, we have our own Quran or Bible. that anybody who studies international relations must find time to okoram themselves with the Vietnam Convention. That is the book that tells you everything, the do's and don'ts in diplomacy. So in that big book, the 1961 Vietnam Convention on Diplomatic Relations, right? Article 27 grant, and absolute immunity to what we call under diplomacy a diplomatic bag. There is a diplomatic bag, right? It not be a physical bag, but any cargo that's deemed, a diplomatic cargo. So it goes under that coverage of Article 27 of the Vietnam Convention. So when we say the executive is getting involved, that means these parcels are passing through with this kind of diplomatic protection. It's good for the ordinary for the woman in the market to understand this, right? So the law says, let me read a verbatim, right? The law says that diplomatic bags cannot be open. Anything that comes under the diplomatic bag or that's considered a diplomatic bag, right, cannot be open. Search. You can search it. You can open it or seize it. It can be seized by custom. Custom can go around in a diplomatic bag. So that diplomatic coverage and privilege is what has been abused by agents of the executive of this regime, right? Passing these drugs under that diplomatic cover. And the only reason I want to restate again that this one got busted because our partners were involved. And they waited and observed to see what the government of Labour would have done after 5 days. They didn't do anything. So SM Brussels had landed and they were onboarding everything, and that's how the alarm hit. So D and the rest of the people had to go there now to go because, of course, they are the national architecture responsible. So, but all the parties have got to do is to send a cable. Now, look, this is where we are, and you have to go ahead and do something. So, for the rescue government to use our diplomatic cover as a medium to be involved with drug peddling is utterly reckless, irresponsible, and exposing of the fact that the government has failed on attracting any investment to Liberia for the past 2 to 3 years. Not even a water plastic company that Mr. Barker has brought to this country. All of the trip he had, it brought no dividend, and they have resulted to nothing but drug peddling. The president once upon a time visited Equatorial Guinea. Go and read on Equatorial Guinea, right? It is a drug hub in this region, a drug hub, and the president goes there. We do not know the details of the conversation,
Who took him there?
but an established relationship was made. The flight that took him there, who paid for it, right? And everything that accompanied the visit there, you and I don't know. Subsequently, the president came from Equatorial Guinea. That plane from Mexico, Lenaya, goes how you call it, Sierra Leone, Alame, up to now, they've not spoken about that plane. Up to now, they've not spoken about it. And on we go. I like to put it. On we go. The chain of cocaine peddling and all of that. So the moment this this place is officially declared a drug hub, and we're placed in the category of Equatorial Guinea, Sierra Leone, and even the Republic of Guinea, and all of that. Those ones may not be official, but researching deep, you will know that because of the structure of the regime that existed in Guinea, for example, the porous nature and all of that, the
Mm-hmm.
lack of accountability, the cartel has used Guinea, especially during Alpha Conde period, all of that. There was a time in that place, even his son was accused of being involved with it. And Sierra Leone today, the daughter of the president stands accused based on her relationship with a notorious drug kingpin. And you understand? So those are in a way, so we are right there. And then who are the friends? Every time you see Baka official flying to Conakry, and Baka says on international television and say Dumbuya is his nephew. So you see the flexibility, eh? And every time Baka goes, he having to break ground for our rule. Baka go way to the border. He call Madabio to come. He said, "Can let's break the rule." So what is the relationship in the midst of all these cooking transactions? Look, man, we're in mess. Maybe we can. I think we after 9 o'clock, we see what the people think, and then we do what we can do.
And I'll say this, then we go to the uh, then we can go to the telephone lines to pick calls. But let me read the text for everything. He said, Austin, good morning. This is a security officer. What you guys are saying this morning is important for our government to listen. I worked at the airport for 2 years. I'm currently a border officer. I know what we go through. I know what we go through, and uh, many a times. Okay, let me just read everything. And many a times we get caught by our big bosses, to stand down when these arrests are made, and when clues given to them, they tell us to disengage or stand down. So it's important you talk about it. Okay. So so it boils down to the very thing we're talking about. I mean, the entire country now knows that this thing is a cartel. So security military is telling us this morning that he was assigned at the airport for 2 years, and that he's currently assigned at the border.
Mhm. And our 2 Air Force were in the rescue.
Yes, he said stand on me forgetting. Insecurity stand on me forgetting.
And say even
Leave
when
it.
we disclose,
Yeah, even when we give clue, they can tell us to disengage.
I mean when we
But
tell them
yeah,
say that drugs,
thank you.
they say you're leaving.
Oh, gee, when we know that Sonic come here, we go clue for you. Then Abu will take phone, my man.
No, you gotta
Yo,
use one of the men. Don't put my knee there. You gotta use one of the men.
he take phone say, my man, you don't go down there. The men are already aware. The men supposed to be giving instruction to go and rest. The men tell my man, you don't go down there. The men are already aware. You use the other bulldog or you delay small. Or when the substance is already in the custody of the security people at the bulldog, my man, you're staying down. The men will find something for you. This is the cartel that Mr. Braga is joking with, that the Unity Party folks are trying to intellectualize. That's what they're doing. At the borders, A DA officer assigned the airport said to us last week that one officer was arrested and is being investigated. About that, that DA officer said to us, watch a show and see. He said there are going to be many arrests made at that airport. He said there's going to be many arrests made at that airport. It says the airport needs to be clean or cleansed of everybody. Everybody from down there, from LRA, from
Yeah, the security people.
from immigration, just everybody. How you keep people down there for 2 years at the border? Those guys have built networks, established networks. Quita Dodo, the story of Quita Dodo case. If you follow that case, the narratives are scary. How Quita came in contact with somebody from Thailand. And the story is told that Quita had been involved into transiting. It was not her first time. And that she had her networks established at the airport. So she comes in and just walk through. Nobody questioning her. In fact, custom officers and security officers will go for her bags or luggage. And that's how she's been operating. And the story is told that this day, Quita Dodo arrived from Thailand with her son, and the network's members representing the network were not at work. They were not on duty at that time. And that her phone was seized, the call log, you see the numbers in her phone to custom officers, to immigration officer, to what you call them, D officer. That's how some of the officers assigned with the DEA and other places were arrested, and some are being arrested. As I'm told, there's an instruction to arrest two or three custom officers who are on duty down there in the Quita Dodo case who have not been arrested. So those are the people fascinated. It's a business. They're doing business. My man, we just won't pass through, man. My man, we just won't pass through, man. Just to allow them pass through. I mean, we'll try a little small, man. It's just worth 19 million, man. We'll give you 1.5, we'll give you 2 million, man. Well, you see, you can do it. Let me contact my boss. Hey, man, go say, but we got confidence in her because normally they will send people, they were some people at those places who they trust, who can confide in them. So if Austin Kawai is the head of DA, my major border points, the airport, the Water side, other places, Kanta, I'm sending my trusted men, my trusted boss, who will confide in me. Then they go there, they have a joint security meeting. At that point, they establish a parallel structure of like-minded individuals who will start running the operation and reporting back to base. Custom men will call it one of boss at LRA. Immigration men call it one of boss at the immigration. DA call it one of boss men at TIA. What you say? What you advise? They will wait and get wars on all their bosses. They come together. This is what my boss is. This is what my boss. Okay, it's corresponding. Let's proceed. We can strike the deal. It's a whole network, a cartel. This is what we're making fun of. Politics, intellectualizing it under the arms of Mr. Baka as president. And we think it's joke. Or we think it's politics. There's a video I want to play of a lady, I think from one of these schools. She has a message for us. Then we can go to the telephone lines and pick calls. Production, freedom, rise. Okay. Okay.
So just before that video, let me throw this in, right? uh, the feedback we're getting is good. The citizens' reaction is good, and that's why we are very determined to remain focused on the cause of advocating for our country and the right things. So I'm getting a report that there are sets of organizations or people organizing themselves to begin taking citizens' action to demand answers from the government. It has been too long, and the government is not coming forth. Right? They're being paid our tax dollars. We can't be sitting waiting for them. They have to act at our own time, especially in such a case. And they're making mockery. They're buying time. So tomorrow there's a safe, it's a no to drugs march that's beginning tomorrow,
Okay.
right? The details of which we'll come up with, but just prepare yourself. If you're that mother, you're that market
Do you have
woman.
contact for some of the organizers? Maybe we could talk to them.
Yeah, it's still
Okay,
developing.
okay.
Maybe during the course of the day, I will just furnish kind with that, and then we'll pick it up from there and start to run with it. Because so if you're a mother out there, you're in the market and hearing this thing is disturbing your grandchildren, your children, they could be affected, right? You need to stand up. You need to come up for just 10 minutes to put your voice there to say that, Mr. President, tell us something. You need to suspend whatever job you're doing and join the bandwagon tomorrow to demand answers. That's all we want. Answer. What's the president tight lip? Why is he not talking? So tomorrow that will start, and then we see how it goes. We're here. We're going to keep providing the services that we can to conscientize you, educate you, and of course, rally you. That's our job.
So let's listen to the dismissed deputy director for the at the DEA, Mr. V. Fupa. This was said at the ministry, one of the Ministry of Information regular press briefings at the time he was deputy for administration. Listen to his revelation, and then we'll play that one from the game. I will say openly
from the executive, the first person government, and the judiciary. You go in the sector, you find out with all drugs.
Yeah. Okay. I will say openly
from the executive,
the
first
first branch,
and the judiciary.
and to the judiciary.
You go in the sector, you find out with all
You look in the circle. You family involved with drugs.
Drug is a lucrative business, so everybody want to get money.
This is not Abu Shari. This is not Odewaka. This is not Ostikawa. This is not Alexa speaking. This is not Mo Ali or Gregory Como or Kuda Fofana speaking. This is a man who served as deputy director for administration at the LDEA, revealing that if you look all around from the first branch of government that is headed by President Baga, straight down to the judiciary, you find people there in the circle involved with dealing drug. Such a pronouncement, revelation came from the highest level in the system, the sector that is responsible to fight drug. Let's ask ourselves, after this revelation was made in the presence of the Minister of Information, who briefs the president every Monday or regularly, external is Monday. This statement was made on Thursday. The next week, a cabinet meeting was held. The Minister of Justice. Let's ask the government, what did the president do?
Mama say his life in danger.
Now you get ghosts chasing you. What did the government do? Let's ask. Let's forget about what Austin Abu said this morning. But let's ask, based on this recording, what did the government do? The next thing we heard was that the man was dismissed. He was fired.
They chased the man.
And
The man tried to go for refuge
yes,
to the embassy.
people even accuse this. People like you exposing us. You embarrass the government. You want to tarnish the government's reputation. Those were statements and phrases coming from officials of government, including a key figure in the security. How could you have embarrassed the government? You go to the government's platform and announce that people in the executive accuse your colleagues in the executive of dealing drugs. Today, 19 million or more is before us. DA is scary to even talk. Why did DA? Because they don't want to be dismissed because they don't have job security. So they wouldn't talk. I don't know what more can we say. If this is not a shameful draft, a shameful display of lack of responsibility by our government, lack of commitment by our government, then I don't know what it is. If this is what you call, if this is the experience and the maturity you want some of us to celebrate, count me out. If this, the leadership, the responsibleness that you all speak about every day, that you want some of us to celebrate, count me out. You want us to support you, want us to partner, we're open. But we'll partner on things, issues that benefit the people, the masses, not things or transactions that benefit your personal interest. Let's listen to this girl from this school. Uh, let's see what she has, what she has to say to her colleagues. Okay.
Some people, is it true that they said $19 million worth of drug came to our airport? What kind of wicked person would do that to Liberia? There are futures in Liberia. People are destined for their child to be something good tomorrow. And you're trying to destroy our country? Why? What did we do to deserve this? We've been working hard. People have been destroyed because of drugs. Other people, children dying, like my brother. Other people being put to jail, like my brother. And other children being killed because of other children addicted to drugs, like my sister. Why are we allowing this to happen? We need our questions to be answered. Who was the one who brought drugs to Liberia? Who was the one who was supposed to receive that $19 million worth of drugs? They sell it to our people to destroy generations and people's future, Liberia future children, boys and girls dying because of you. Don't worry, we will still find out. The truth will come out one day. It doesn't have to be today, but we're gonna march on that street and we'll still find out. You can hide between the thorns, but the thorn will still poke you.
She needs her verse to be elevated. She needs her message to go across. She may not have the strength. You can sense the courage in her voice to insist that the truth is uncovered, that the truth is revealed. This is a teenager from an elite American orientation school, but she has an interest. If a teenager like her listen to the questions she was asking, and some of you think we only come here in the morning to sit behind these microphones and I mean because Mr. Braga is president, because this kid, her brother that she kept referencing, and many other victims out there Families are being wiped away. Kids are being destroyed. And you think, we, yeah, because Barack is president, you just forget it. That I mean, you just forget it. The probably that president, you just leave it. This is not a leafy thing. We're not leaving it. There are families who are concerned. I have a brother whose birthday is tomorrow, who we are still struggling to rescue. A biological brother. So if you're looking for victims, we are all victims directly or indirectly. We know what family members, relatives, friends, parents go through on a daily basis to rescue their kids, to rescue their family members, their brothers and sisters. And you're making fun with 19 million or more. Street value, just a street value, like Abu emphasized. If this should not be a matter of national concern that politics aside for all of us to engage and ensure and insist that the truth is revealed and that those connected are arrested, prosecuted, and sentenced if they are guilty. But it's a shame. It's a big shame and a big embarrassment to our country. We're going to support any citizen action, whether it's a campaign, it's a march, it's a whatsoever it is. Once it is an assembly that ensure that we pressure this government to ensure that the right thing is done, that the right people are arrested, reviewed and arrested, and investigated and prosecuted, we are going to join those campaigns, beginning with the one that Abu mentioned that should be starting tomorrow. Let's go to the telephone lounge and pick your calls on 0776 104 104 0886 500 104. Those are the numbers to call and join the show this morning. I don't know whether you want to take the calls on this end. I want to run out. Good morning to you. Please go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my brother, you're thinking, you're thinking plenty. They just business, they will not call nobody's name now. It's why people delay, they're looking for governor or in a party when they're going, they say, oh, count, agree that it's just for you. They will tell you, go on up and free you. But they know who get it just. They know that people here on the journal, they see people that are bringing to us, President Wiata, you know, online or President we are going around to that President we are bringing to us. And you know, evil man to us late after him. You know, evil thing was doing up and that's that honor them or putting their after. Once the expert evil thing yourself or my soul, I go in the world and we expose your so-called exposing their one by one. But we expose them. And I just say, we didn't worry that so we not give up here. It's not the ones for our children. We will.
Thank you, Master. Go ahead. Let's hear you. Let's make call. Let's make for all us.
I think I want my son, my handsome boy.
Limi.
Thank you, Papa.
Limi. Don't praise me. Limi.
No, you no.
Okay.
We say how to my son Abu. I'm not hearing the other guy.
Don't worry.
I hope he comes tomorrow. I hope he here tomorrow because I will be assisting. We still watching. I will be assisting. I will not hear it that 2-3 days will be a freedom. So to the issue, look, we need answer and from water administration. They say yeah, stay playing. We tired for your cook look at this. They say yeah, stay playing it. That the man said also lie on here it will campaign about the trust issue and the move here. We will talk to come. What's going on? The rescue. I'm in the campaign, our father, Mr. Bwaka was in the campaign. Talking about we have to get to the country. For only land they play on play here and the message for the executive to capture it to say I'm on fire. It is a 1 million of fire. The people also that. The brother who that will hide their boss, that will hide them, that will see them on the doctor, the company, the air inside, to say also you get up here. If they want to be put in yesterday, when we were ready with it, issue that we have nothing to render, they were putting jobs there. You were giving for jobs, even though drinking it at the so they tell you what with investigation. You take it part of it and say, and before you get and then drink jobs, you take your last and the two pandemic job in this country. Now,
Thank you very much.
For protesting. If they said they were working on that, and we see many many justice for Baka and T. For his post. We want to protest over here. Don't lie to the Lambert people. They justify their country. They say, look, our people are speaking, our father speaking. They consent that you made up as a justice point to take you for a case of long country. What is a clean job? Then you take you to bring it in party two. Are you getting? So we need consent. And we consent, we need consent, we need justice, not justice, and the rest of it done. We need consent and want to be getting Baka.
Thank you.
Eugene, go ahead.
Thank you. Let me say good morning to Austin and welcome on the platform. So I listened to the presentation and the analysis between two of you, Abu. What is worrying? And it was proud to have a judge being arrested and no owner, and up to pressing the government around getting a comprehensive statement that I people even believe in. It's worrisome. And like somebody, we have many years.
Do you trust the government will say the truth?
Where we are now, for me personally, I can't trust any statement coming from the government, because from the beginning, can you imagine since Sunday of last week, this thing happened. The public, the citizens, and even you people have to pressure on the government. You even coming out.
Okay, thank you very much. Marlino, let's hear you.
Morning, Abu.
Morning.
Morning. Austin Power. How are you doing? How the family?
God, man.
Look, let me tell you something. Look, the place I'm more than happy. They dropped business. What Baka was doing, all these things. What only in power that ain't coming taking for in power. They dropped business.
Yeah, the mail for the trucks here.
They dropped it for the where? Where you putting it?
Where? You're passing all around for community. Say,
yes. Yeah, that's what I see. Where? No, the man is disgraced. The government is disgraced for the drugs business. You know, the one for one hand to move on it. When I move on it, we will continue to talk about the drugs until they become it. It is very shameful, disgraceful to the government. Look what it is. They hardly they think we don't know. They know you know everything, but we're waiting for them. You're waiting for them to come out.
Is it a
they can't make it. They drop it. But they drop it. No, we're not stupid.
Now the federal government approach just really on
Yes. Look at that kind of disgracefulness. I'll see you on my material. Thank you this morning. Bye.
Okay, so rescue. So interesting. First government say they body their head. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yes, I'm okay. Let's hear you.
I'm more trying to
Go ahead.
God bless you. The jokes like government 2026 were escorted by regime by 1 to 3 p.m. escorted a drug.
Why you accusing the speaker of exporting the drugs?
Yes.
How you know that? How you know?
Hello?
You
I'm not a government. I'm giving you some information.
You know to be sure the information that you're airing to my platform. How did you know?
Yeah, you got research. All this
You're talking to the speaker here. You can have my issues with him, but let's be clear. This is serious. If you say you have reason to think that the speaker exported the drugs, you have to give us proof.
Yes, I'm giving you the information for your research. And then CCTV. Which
you saw on the day where were you? At the airport?
I was ready to spend the day. I saw the car, and I saw my brother, and I got about a pin of me over there. No one's on phone. And I was sitting there. And
so you just walk past it.
The problem is very bad. So very skeptical and observing. You don't know who is who.
Okay. So came back. My brother, thank you very much. And he has got to say what he has to say. Good morning. Zero. Good morning.
Good morning, Abu.
Morning, sir. You're live.
Thank you very much. Good morning to the hardworking family of the greatest figure of the family. For the recognition of the public and pocket robot. And I don't want you this morning for our unknown destinations. Abu, well, my brother just left it last year. It's unaccurable. Yeah. It's true that you are doing the work that you want to balance.
It's unwanted?
It's unaccurable.
Okay.
But you get accurate. The speaker car was
the spelling on them problem card. Yeah, go ahead.
Come again?
No, go ahead.
Abu, I've aimed a teacher for all the graduates. They see your knowledge. Anything that we share, we have even authority to work.
Abu, you still go ahead, man. You put your legs.
Oh, no. I don't want to be very everything we say because we're all public platform.
Yeah, but I want to be sure that you call it war. I didn't hear it good, so I didn't ask you to say it again.
As I said earlier, it's uncomfortable that you cannot activate for the speaker car is not a transporter of the jobs.
Okay.
The speaker car is a transporter of the jobs. I don't ever imagination with seniors about the road.
Yes, for example, give me some example of the yes you think would be ruling.
The PR advisor to the president.
Okay.
Yes. The dining chair to what? I'm not allowed to turn the chair on the bed. So we for the revolution.
When you're looking for the information, you get the information you take care of the bear. The whole country looking for the information.
Thank you. And I want to say we have a sophisticated very sophisticated information or gadget. Whenever we get information, we have the evidence to what our disclosure. So we are telling you that the figure or fact, the figure fault is one of the key evidence.
The figure what?
Yes. The figure fault.
Okay.
The individual is one of the key evidence.
Who's that individual?
Another one, you have the police director. Abu, we are telling you. Because to what our fingertip, and we just wait on the anything. You know what we are talking about doing that our salary is our weakness, but we're telling that our salary is our weakness. We are giving a deal a chance.
All right. Rabbi for all the Sacomomian tree. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's your knowledge.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, Michael is joining from Europe. Michael, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good morning, Abu, and pleasant good morning to everyone else who is following this broadcast this morning. I mean, it's a good thing being here. And This story is troubling, Abu. Very troubling. Imagine the stigmatization that it is bringing on the country. You, as a Liberian young man, you are traveling out of the country, and with the kind of handling that is going on, how does it reflect to us that we want to explore tomorrow when the country is earmarked or the country has been tagged as a drug hub, a major drug hub in West Africa? What happens to the ordinary people? Those few government officials are out there benefiting from it. But the trickle down effect on the image of the country, the trickle down effect on the common citizen who is trying to fight for himself. How will he be classified? Liberia is a low risk country at the moment. Why are these people? They are not even providing the leadership that is needed.
Low risk. We're talking about $19 million cocaine.
No, it is because of the status of the country. That's why they are exploiting and passing these things through the country. Because obviously they wouldn't want to pass that thing through Nigeria or other countries.
In the transnational operations of drug trafficking, are you saying Liberia is at a low rate? I'm asking you, in the midst of this alarming news, are we still there, or we are taking a seat among the?
Yeah, but how these things are handled, it defines how people approach us, because it is because of the low risk status for which they are using the country in the first place. Because they know when things come from the country, it doesn't go through the level of screening it goes through in other countries. And more importantly, because the system is so weak and government officials are part of this particular process. Imagine the diplomatic link that they are using, they are involved in this whole thing. We discovered from some investigations, some people we've spoken to, that over 50 diplomatic cargoes have left the country since 2024, and most of those cargoes have been linked to drug trafficking.
There will always be diplomatic bags going here, so the numbers doesn't really, see.
Yeah, the number is not it, but based on the sources that we've spoken to so far, the number is mentioned because it is linked to the story that is unfolding.
Okay.
It is not because we just want to talk diplomatically. We are obviously aware that diplomatic things happen. There are diplomatic things that happen all of the time. But in this context, these packages of the cargoes that we are talking about, they are highly linked to the cartel, the transshipment cartel that have been working. And one thing that is very important for people to note, the cartel does not even deal with people that the DEA bosses, like mid-level officials. They deal with people like the president, the vice president, people that have influence within the president's circle. So to say a little boy who you see a picture say he looks malnourished will have the capacity to be traveling with 19 million drugs to carry on airport, all those things are just made.
Oh, Michael call has been disrupted. This is Robert Pakoya, my home country brother. Good morning.
Good morning, my dear brother. How are you?
Okay, let's hear you.
Thank God for you, brother. Thank God for you and Austin Tower this morning. I thank God for God extending you people another day. Because we give God the glory for any days that we survive. Because He's the one anytime He can put our current off. Yeah, that's just something that is pointed out to you myself this morning. You told you I told my own. The drugs business, we need to be looking all around. We need to go to medicine, man. Joseph Barker is involved in the drugs business. I know you asked me.
You call your own show like that.
Yeah, when yesterday President Weah was the one that was importing drugs, then why Joseph Barker cannot be importing drugs too?
When you do the debate like that and then you dilute the substance, then the people will not follow it the real way. We have to be more accurate. I mean, let's talk about what was said yesterday. A lot of these things have been in propaganda, and the nation knows the facts now. But with what is happening now, the magnitude of what is going on in our country, that these things will be stored in Liberia for that number of days, and then they're distributed around the world. What do you think?
But Joseph Barker is not being involved in the drug business. Sometimes people know it, you may not know, people know it all around here. So it didn't happening. why he been passing all around, going here and there, how we going to do dealing with the drugs and things.
So
You
who
know
been
that
passing it around now? That the president or Tantan?
the president himself, why he went to do to Guinea-Bissau, what he went to to do other country that had something to do with drugs, and you're not bringing nothing to our country. And yesterday they were all preaching here, and you're
And
not saying anything.
he very
You're
friendly
not
with
saying.
Sierra Leone president too.
So don't forget it, forget it. You know, right here to as long as they can just drive the already say already pass it through it. Why we are exporting drugs now? You should know that we got it here. We able to produce rest for ourselves, but our people able to produce drugs.
So
So
far, the
the
only thing we're
press,
exporting now are cocaine.
yeah, but the president aware. You can't tell me just one of the brothers that left the land. The president not aware. You see, they playing with our lives. They playing with our children, unborn children future. Just know my fear here, Abu. Before the government leave from power, will be to negative zero. Will suffer here. Because the poor come and they're looting the place there, they bring all kind of and dedicated things to destroy this country, to destroy you and myself, our unborn children. So when somebody want to tell me the president I am involved in this, Lord take Jeremiah come for order. The president is set.
But Robert, you don't notice crazy people getting plenty on the road this time?
But hey man, one of our brother died from drugs. Oh yeah, man, like yeah, the boy they used to say he lays, man, they hard liquor can you and thing. They used to say he lay opium, but later I don't know what fool he went to one of the daily pictures of bag drugs because saying he know about new drugs have been coming. You know, just we were discussing push, but saying he came the guy I don't know what I don't know say should play organ of drugs we hear in the knee. So the boy just went took it the very day he took it the guy died straight.
Except I got no drugs in there.
The boy died straight. We used to call him and Tabo, one of the football players he took for that Nigerian player. The guy he used to say, "I will see what picking you." But
the papi really can't rescue the country.
the papi king rescue himself. All that rescue you're hearing to rescue he and his family. Finish. You use psychology on the Liberian people. You use his psychology on the Liberian people. You see somebody one say that
But the way
papi.
they not put their head just been in now, that one, easy to spot the whole thing.
You know, they used to say this is put sanction on we are government. I think they turn up to put sanction on their government because what they're doing, because the entire world is fighting to get drugs on all the world. In not easy. Then Liberia become one of the exporter in the world. Where are we going? Where are the churches are now opening their mouths? Where are now
The pastor
why
on
the
board.
pastors they are not
We on
talking?
board and throwing it out and coming with the house. The pastor they on board.
Yeah, because they are better driven pastors. Because when you're better in your hand, anything operating will come to you, you will not talk about it. But I think the pastors, they are the people that are supposed to be leading on the straight road. If the president does wrong, let them tell the president.
You also hear Bishop go to run say nobody will protest. You hear the pastor and say, oh, you forget what protest. Nobody will protest.
Yeah, so the president cannot tell like people that he's not aware of the drug business because they don't have no ability to get money now. The drug, they are exporting the drug to get enough money. And we're talking about 19 million. I know if I like setting about the quarter, more than that. I listen to people that some have already learned where it's supposed to go. Tell me, the market is not the ban on it for long. You can't tell me yesterday. These are the people that been importing drugs, exporting drugs all the country doing. Even we are even Seritan. You remember Seritan? They said one of the escorted the phone and drugs in one of the security convoy, the presidential convoy. You remember Seritan? Madam Seritan? Yes.
Robert, all right now, the Liverpool getting power me. They say I'm not broken me on the land for long. So all right, we'll do the big one tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Robert Pakoya. So let me take another call.
Thank you,
Austin,
man.
you have to Hello,
Abu,
good
how you
morning.
doing?
Yeah, I'm okay. Go ahead. Is this
Let me say hi to Austin and
Ed Mocha?
yeah, I have not welcome him back on the platform. I remain the sort of that they pushing for the return of President we are a problem about concern like for justice. You know, the only reason why the government is that live on the issue is that they are looking for the sacrificial lamb. Okay? Some are going to be used and the real draw need could be withheld by the government because it's no issue about security threat or classified security information. And that's why sometimes we look at guys in government and just laugh at them. You sat over there and tell where the drug was going. In the European country, Great Britain, London. Then you telling me, which one not is classified when you are already told the world that Liberia is not exporting drugs, while America is closing all the channels. You know, the cartel now is using Liberia to export drugs. And this is what I was saying to them. They need to get prepared for this, you know, because the worst, the rest of the world, especially America and other European countries, will not take it lightly. So the government comes because names are coming out. So the longer you continue to walk by,
what kind of name coming out?
more name will continue to come because
you hear name?
Because because we are giving accident. Why are they keeping the director of security? Another thing I'm Mandingo man again.
Who director
the director of security in jail. And he was the one and like the DA officer, the unfolding at the airport. Mohammed, why is he keeping him? Why are you keeping him in jail?
Oh, wait a minute. Edmund, you go?
No, I'm here. Hello?
Yeah, but you calling Nemo.
Oh yeah. I'm talking about the director of security used to be one Mohammed, right? And I say he's another guys against on the side of the Mandingo. They were the guys because they talk about it, they said no, that's not what we are doing. He's DA and he is elected as a DA. One of the person that elected as a DA about the unfolding at the RIA. So how can you keep him in jail? Instead of you making him to be part of the investigation. So how we are acting. Okay? So the government should do the needful and come up to tell us who are those that are exporting from our country. First, it said, we are Jet Kochi, Sinabono, and others, where they want importing drugs into the country. But we are talking about 19 million worth of cocaine. This is not marijuana that has been exported from our country. This is not the first 12 million lender. They went through successfully. Okay, 12 million worth of cocaine. Let's RIA. And when they drugs got there, they went through the cargo handling department. When you got to the second department, there where the problem started coming up.
So you trust the government will be truthful in this matter?
No. This is what I'm telling you. What is really happening now is that the names are out. So even the sacrificial lamb that they are looking for to use, otherwise they are just looking for the sacrificial lamb. Somebody gonna die for somebody. That's not gonna happen because they want to make sure the means do a need by the government. But the names are out. I don't care what you do to use the sacrificial lamb or not. The image of the government is completely wrong in the model. It was not brought to this country. It is being exported. And before you export, you must have the production site, and you must have it in fair quantity. So can we say some of the reasons behind the secret billing of things that are wrong in local country? So can we say this strategy could be associated with it? Okay? Because you must have a deposit.
All right, Edmund, thank you. Thank you very much. Well said. You've made your point. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you want to pick something there? I think we're out of time.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning, Abu. Good morning, Kawa. Kawa and Abu, thank you very much. And I spent thousands. And I'm the period for justice. Abu,
Mr. President, you need to do a thorough thing. Later for the DO to speak, it will lead our lot of speculation. And we'll figure these speculations to know that we are saying the truth, Mr. President. We are hearing the investor is connected to this job. We are hearing the connectors of your son to this job, Mr. President. Yes, you go separate. Yes, you're not speaking to national issue. You are saying you are not speaking to national issue. Have you said to someone? We voted for 22 years experience. We did not vote for President Homo. It's a Haggai. They also bring the job. Other than that, 2029, we start you. Give you how much I for. But always give you the president to contribute to national development. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Abu, I think we have to go. We have to go. But it was nice interacting with all of you this morning. We this is a running thing. The government calls it transactional investigation. We call it a running story or running development. So they have the professional way to call the event. We have our way. So it's a running thing. We are doing additional follow-ups. There are new details emerging, and so we hope to. The conversation continues. So you follow us on our social media pages for updates. And Oliver, the next team will be here. The Oliver will come in the evening, and then so there'll be more updates about this whole thing, plus other issues that concern you, the ordinary people. So Abu, we have to go.
Yeah, certainly we gotta go. And of course, tomorrow we will be here. Thanks for being there. Those of you that call in, we appreciate your contribution. Certainly, this is a developing story. We're going to keep following it, and we demand honesty from those in authority. We demand real leadership from the president. This is the biggest test to his presidency. I mean, do I think he will pass this test? No, absolutely, he's going to fail. But again, it remains a test. It's a challenge to him to prove me wrong. I've always said to the president, look, you have the opportunity to prove the little boy wrong. And, I've always shared a lot of doubt in your capacity, your capability, your leadership. So I'm challenging you again. This drug thing, get it right. Let's see. If you do that, I will give you a thumbs up. If you don't, I will keep up. Again, tomorrow will be here. Thanks for the time. Until we see you, do have a wonderful time from my end.
So yes, obviously we are going home to prepare ourselves for tomorrow morning. Thanks to all of you for listening. Thanks to all of you for viewing. Thanks to those of you who follow us. Thanks to all of the callers. We shall be back here tomorrow morning by God's grace. But until then, do have yourselves pleasant moments in your different areas. My name is Austin Kawa Abu Sharif Osie. We shall be back tomorrow. Bye bye.
When they were coming, they said they were labor.